Welcome to Empowering Chats with Susan Burrell. This is where we have deep, intimate conversations about self-empowerment and future existence. I am an intuitive healer and a light leader who has been called to activate other light leaders. So I'm curious, are you one of them? So by listening, lean in and see if you are ready to be that eternal potential you've been called to be. Using your bravery, your talents, your tenacity, can you be innovative and adventurous in order to activate your light and lead from that place? This is where we learn how to love ourselves from the inside out and love the whole world over and over again. Enjoy the show. Hello. I wanted to share with you guys something I discovered several years ago, kind of by chance, but then again, you guys know I don't believe that anything happens randomly. But it was during a time when I took a break, a sabbatical, if you will, and did a lot of deep inner work, introspection, and lots of journaling. I began to work with the elementals and angels and delved even more deeply into working with my spirit guides. And something that happened, I was guided, because you guys know all my guided meditations come through as a channeled thing. And so during a meditation, I was guided to do some ancestral clearing. Had not really heard about it, didn't know what it was. And so I thought, all right, this is what that my guides and my angels and the infinite is asking me to do so that I could clear what I was experiencing at the time. And what I was experiencing at the time was, again, another round of not being good enough or not feeling seen and heard and all that stuff. And so it appeared that it was coming down through my ancestral lines, my matriarchal line, my patriarchal line. And so I did it. I was guided to do that. And it did clear a lot. I went back several generations, not knowing my ancestors' names. That's not important, you guys. But to go back to try and find the originating source of the belief of not being good enough or whatever it is you're dealing with, anger, shame, judgment. And going back as far as I could, then I was able to collapse that belief system, if you will, and just pull it out of the ancestral line and kind of get rid of it. And then my heart opened up with so much love and gratitude for my ancestors and all that they had gone through, just, by just living life. And in ancient days, if you go back far enough in your ancestral history, times were rough. And we think times are rough now. Holy moly, times are rough, especially if you were a woman, but times were rough anyway. And so ancestral clearing became a thing that I use. Often I use it with clients. I use it when I'm teaching classes. And I decided it would be really good to offer it as a workshop. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll give you the information for that in a little bit. But why? So you're going, why do I want to do an ancestral clearing? So for me, the why was about kind of facing and then shifting behaviors that have been passed down, like anger, rage, shame, addiction. And our ancestors, when you go back far enough, you can really comprehend that they were doing the best they could, given their time, reality, given their life circumstances. They were doing the very, very best they could for the most part. So clearing those behaviors also opens you up to what the belief system is underneath those behaviors, like not feeling good enough or poverty, be just living in poverty, or being subjected to, treated like chattel, all those kinds of things that become beliefs. I'm not good enough, or becomes beliefs that I need to fight against. I need to rage against the machine, or whatever it is that your family of origin may have as a go-to behavior and belief. And going up through that line helps you to clear it for yourself, for your family of origin, not just for you personally, but for everybody in your family of origin, your parents, your siblings. And then you can also clear it for the future generations, the 7 generations that come after you and more. And it also then clears the collective consciousness as we do our inner work individually. It radiates out. You know, you've heard me talk about being a high frequency of love. Well, all the inner work that we choose to do within ourselves radiates out and affects other people. It uplifts them. It brings them up to a higher consciousness. In my light leader class I just finished teaching, one of the students said we achieve a matched consciousness. So it's not that one's higher or lower than the other, but we raise it up and then we get to match ourselves to it and to each other. So clearing your ancestral dealy-doos, mishigoshes, is really important because it affects the whole. It affects the collective. And then we can absolutely stop that fear or that rage or that not good enough belief system from being passed down through more generations, where it just creates more havoc. And I really do kind of feel that that's part of what the chaos is that we're witnessing right now in the world, is that there's a larger belief system that I'm not good enough unless I have it all, unless I can control everyone, or whatever that idea is. And so to clear that stuff so we can actually be honest with ourselves, really see our true being, our true power, to me is why we're here. It's kind of why we're here, growing our souls and evolving, really to see ourselves for the truth of who we are. And then embody that personal power, embody our personal power, not keep pushing it off to the side and all that stuff. So it also creates room or space. It clears your vessel, if you will, so that more good can come in, more positive activity, more beautiful, creative belief systems that actually nurture yourself and the world. And when we're stuck in that loop of ancestral beliefs that we don't even know we have, and some of these can be past lifetime beliefs. If we're stuck in that loop, then we're not at choice. We're just doing the same old because that's the way it's always been done in my family, or blah, blah, blah. And we're not at choice. We don't have our inner power to access. And I don't know about you guys, but I want to be able to access my inner power. I want to be able to stand in the truth of my being and radiate that light and that love that I am to everyone on the planet. So clearing the ancestral wounding, if you will, or belief systems or behaviors, gives you more space to be more of who you were meant to be, creatively, spiritually, energetically. So it also, I believe, in my experience, has created sustainable change for me. Now, sometimes you got to do it a few times, right? Multiple times, because you can clear one line, like your matriarchal line, and then you got to do the patriarchal, and then something else shows up and you got to go back and forth and all that stuff. So it's an excellent tool to have in your bag of tricks, if you will. Ancestral clearing and healing, because it does create a new way of being for our future as humanity collectively. So I will be doing an in-person ancestral clearing on April 6th at 1 p.m. in the Ventura County area at VCSL in Ventura. And that will be on my website. You guys can sign up through there. If you're able to come in person, that would be so amazing. And I'm also going to offer it online on Zoom on Tuesday, April 8th at 6:30 p.m. so that everybody has an opportunity to experience this. And I'm going to offer this a couple times throughout the rest of the year, because I really think that the more we clear our consciousness, the more, like I said earlier, we can raise up. We can raise our consciousness. We can rise up to be a higher frequency of love and light that will help to heal and move humanity forward in a very beautiful, positive way. So as all this stuff is chaos and collapse, I can't even put words to it, you guys, but you get what I'm saying. As all this is happening, those of us who want to be better, who want to rise up, this is the time to clear the ancestral stuff, because I mean, everything's going out with the garbage now, you guys. Everything is going out with the garbage. And what came before this present moment, what came before in terms of our ancestors is now done. It's history. And we want to create a human story that doesn't have to do with history. So I really believe that principle is not bound by precedent, which means that if you follow your spiritual intuition and guidance, there are universal principles that are always in action for our highest good. And in any moment, we can change and set a new intention, experience a new way of living in every single moment, because what happened before does not have to be dragged into our future, ever. So ancestral clearing in April with Susan Burrell. Go to my website, susanburrell.com, and you can find out how to sign up. And I would love to see you there. And if not now, then maybe later in the year. Until then, and so it is, namaste.
Well, that wraps up our empowering chat for the day. I hope you enjoyed it and found it inspired you to be more empowered. If you want to find out more about me, go to susanburrell.com, my website, and you can see what we're up to. I am teaching classes again, so there's a calendar of that, and you can register. You can check out my book, Live an Empowered Life, a 30-day journey with the companion inspiration cards, or you can access my guided meditations that go through Insight Timer. We got a bunch of stuff on the website. Check it out. And until then, namaste.